Fridays are not guaranteed this time of year. Instead, they are earned. Several teams have already notched a playoff win. Others are back to work after a well-deserved week of kicking back and watching. We've got another jam-packed show prepped and ready to go. It's time for a regional round playoff edition of Sportsline Friday night.
Welcome to Sportsline Friday night. I'm Kevin Baptiste, and alongside me, I think you get the point by now. You know how this goes. John Eves went to a very chaotic, high-scoring game. He is on his way back from his game. He covered Central and East Ascension. He'll join the show eventually, I hope, but until then, I'll just hold down the fort. Oh, and by the way, our sports director, Jacques Doucet, today is his birthday, and he decided to take off. Hell, if I was the boss, I would take off too. I don't blame him. So happy birthday to you, Jacques. That's beside the point. We're going to get to these games. Second round, and we had a good one in Division I, 9 select. Zachary on the road at Denham Springs. Denham Springs looking to get to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2022. Zachary, they missed out on the quarterfinals last year, which was a shocker, and they got off to a good start in this one as Michael Kirby is going to hit Tacoby Ream for the touchdown, a nice pitch and catch. And just like that, it's 7-0 Broncos with a nice little kung fu celebration that drew a flag, it looked like. Come on, ref, don't be hating like that. Zachary's offense gets right back to it. They're going to go to their ground game. Tyler Lewis gets the handoff and walks in, standing up for another touchdown. So 13-0 Zachary, just like that. Second quarter now, Denham Springs trying to get something going. Dejon Goldman, he is going to be strip sacked, and it's going to be recovered by Kason Pearson of Zachary. So the Broncos going on the road and already getting out to a big lead and some momentum. Let's see if they can add to it. And they do it right here. We pick up in the middle of the play. Kirby's going to hit Jamon Wesley for the touchdown, 20-0. Hey, we still got the catch, and we got him crossing the end zone, so I guess that's what matters the most. So Denham in a very deep hole. What can they do? Goldman going to hit Trey Seals on the screen pass, and Seals gets off to the races down the left sideline. He is brought down, but not before a long pickup that gets Denham Springs offense in a quick goal-to-go situation. And Brenton Paul gets the handoff and gets inside the pylon for the touchdown, 20-7. Denham finally gets on the board. Paul would add another touchdown on a long run, so it's 20-14. Denham Springs making ground, but Zachary says not so fast. It's Lewis again with a long touchdown run, 30-14. Zachary at the half, and check out head coach David Brewerton. He is on 10, probably on 20 after that long touchdown run as Zachary went in with all the momentum. So let's see how they did coming out of the locker room. Of course, like I said, Zachary didn't get to the quarterfinals last year, and that was just something that doesn't really happen much. They're back to punt right here, and their special teams makes a play as it's going to be muffed and recovered by Colin Walls. Offense already in a goal-to-go situation, and who do you think is going to get the ball on this one? Mr. Lewis himself goes in, standing up for the touchdown, 37-14 as Zachary look like they're about to run away with it in Yellow Jacket Stadium. Denham trying to get back into it, as Goldman is going to hit Seals for a nice pitch and catch. Good game. And Goldman goes to the left side. Seals for another touchdown, 37-21. But this one would be all Zachary, folks. They go into Yellow Jacket Stadium and get the win, 44-21. They advance to the next round where they have another local team to play, and that will be Central. Central did defeat East Ascension. As I mentioned, John Eves did go to that game. He is on his way back, and we will have those highlights for you later in the show. All right, let's move on. U-High in Division II Select, they took on Booker T. Washington out of Shreveport, because U-High back in the playoffs after missing last year due to those ineligible players. And the Cubs got off to a good start as Sage Ingram stretches over the line for the touchdown, 8-0 after the two-point conversion. Booker T. Washington would go 3 and out. U-High is going to waste no time on their second drive. Ethan McGlynn drops back and hits William Martin for the first play, quick 6, 14-0. But that was probably the second most exhilarating moment of this sequence. Okay, we're going to let this run for a little bit. So you see the ball. The ball is going to be picked up by Jordan Pennick. Penny's going to try to bring it back to the sideline. The referee says, no, son, give me the ball. Give me the ball. He's chasing him. Andy Martin says, no, bring the ball back to the sideline. So the ref says, okay, you want to do that? Flag. Delay of game. I had no idea what was going on. Apparently, you cannot pick the ball back up after it's been spotted. At least that's the explanation I got. Just a bunch of comedy that happened in that sequence. Didn't matter because U-High's defense got back to work. That's an interception from DJ Coleman that sets up the offense again. And McGlynn is going to throw the screen to Lawson Dixon. And Dixon goes to the end zone for the touchdown, 22-0. And it seemed like the best defense in this ball game was from their referee who was trying to get the football. As U-High, they scored a lot. 50-16, the final in this one. Look at the bracket. Who will U-High play in the next round? Oh my, all right, look at that. District rivals, all right? Those two played a close game that U-High won early in the season for the district title, and now they will meet up again at U-High Stadium for a chance to move on to the next round of the playoffs. Ooh, that's the type of drama we love to see in these LHSAA playoffs. All right, we are just getting started on Sportsline Friday night. Lots of games, lots of highlights to go through. Y'all stay right there. We'll be right back. Sportsline Division I Select Catholic High. They had that bye last week, so they got starting their playoff at home against Captain Shreve. And boy, did the Bears get off to a good start in this one. Opening drive, Jaden Miles gets the direct snap out of the Wildcat, bounces to the left side, makes a guy miss, cuts back to the right. He is gone, 45 yards for the touchdown. 6-0 Bears after a missed PAT, but it wouldn't matter because their defense got it right back to their offense. And this time, Baylor Graves throws it up top, and this time Jaden Miles will show off the hands. Nice concentration, gets the feet down, touchdown, 23 yards, 13-0. Same score in the second quarter. Bears offense right back at it. Miles is going to get another handoff, gets loose down the left sideline, brought down, but moved those chains. That's a first down. And Catholic High, they like to play two quarterbacks. This time it's going to be Turner Goldsmith in. Surveys, looks, tucks, keeps, makes a juke. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown, 20-0 Bears. And they had no issues in this one as they went on to win. Final score, 37-14. Nice playoff start for Catholic High. And next week, they will be playing Alexandria, Ash. All right, remember Ash, they got to the state championship last year, and they got smacked by Edna Carr in the state championship. And it seems like the winner of Ash and Catholic High might play Edna Carr. So, yeah, that's going to be something to look out for next week. All right, let's go to Division III Select. St. Michael, they were on the road at E.D. White. Not a good start for the Warriors. They were already down 7-0. Mid-second quarter, E.D. White's going to add to it as Reese LaFont gets loose for a 33-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. And then the Cardinals in that option offense just kept on going. This time it's Owen English inside handoff for a 12-yard touchdown, 21-0. Same score in the third quarter. E.D. White inside the red zone again. English is going to get his second rushing touchdown of the game, 28-0. St. Michael, they did not get shut out. They did get on the board right here. Deontay Campbell puts the Warriors on 28-7, but this one was all E.D. White. Look at the final score, 35-7 the final in this one. You see who will E.D. White play in the next round? E.D. White, they will play, all right, St. Charles Catholic, the top seed in Division II Select. So the winner of U-High and Madison Prep going to have a good opponent on their hands. But congratulations to St. Michael on a very good season and also winning a playoff game in their brand new stadium. All right, like I said, we're just getting started on Sportsline Friday night. More games coming in at the minute, and we will show them to you after the break. Sportsline. Okay, we're going to go up north. We're going to show you Evangel Christian in St. Paul's. Why? Because Evangel quarterback Peyton "Pop" Houston is committed to LSU for the class of 2027. He is the second highest rated pocket passer in his class per ESPN rankings. And he showed it off right there as he hit Charlie Abram down the seam for the touchdown, 7-0 Evangel. And then check out this throw in the second quarter. Pop goes up top to DeMarcus Evans, 19 yards, pinpoint accuracy, 14-0 Evangel. St. Paul's made a little run, but Evangel got the lead back, and they're going to pad to it as Pop runs the little RPO to Abraham as they connect for their second touchdown of the game, 27-14. And then with under 6 minutes left in the game, you might as well show off the legs now. Pop, read option, keeper, 34-14. That ends up being the final and caps off a 4-touchdown night for Pop Houston. As we mentioned earlier, Evangel, they move on to the next round. And who will they play? They will face in the car, as mentioned earlier. The winner of that game will face the winner of Catholic High and Alexandria Senior High School. Let's go down to Division IV non-select, to the streets of Rosedale, baby. Somebody in here is from there. I ain't gonna say no names, but anyway, North Iberville, they took on Eldon. First big play of the game is gonna come from the boys from the Lake Charles-ish area as Davin Simon throws it up to JoJo Vaquero for the tough 30-yard catch. After that, a few plays later, McKeelan Lemoyne gets the ball, fights his way through would-be tacklers, and goes in standing up for a 33-yard touchdown, 6-0 Eldon after missed PAT. North Iberville's next drive, they tried to get something, but that's nothing. That is a backwards pass, and JoJo Vaquero jumps on it to give Eldon the ball. They get down in a goal-to-goal situation, and that leads to Lemoyne's second touchdown of the game, and 14-0 after a successful two-point conversion. So North Iberville, the home team, down 14. They need something to go right, need some momentum. Here goes B.J. Malonson. He's going to try. Scoops it up, makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, spins, and now he's off to the races. One man to beat, and he's going to beat them for a kick return touchdown to put the Bears on the board. That's one way to get some momentum going on if we have the shaky camera to add the effects. 14-6, and then North Iberville goes right back to BJ on the screen pass, and he gets in. That ties it up after the two-point conversion, and that must have started the run, because after that, North Iberville did not look back. 36-26, the final in this one. And for the first time ever, North Iberville will play in the quarterfinals against South Plaquemines or West St. Mary. We're still working on trying to get the final score of that game. But regardless, hey, North Iberville, I remember hearing stories North Iberville couldn't even get to the playoffs or even have much of a winning season. And now they're going to be in the quarterfinals. How about that for the village of Rosedale? Hey, shout out to the family. All right. Sportsline Friday night with more coming back after this. In Division III Select, Dunham was hosting Northlake Christian. I'm sure Dunham is eager to start their playoffs after falling short in the state title last year. First quarter, the Tigers already get to it. Elijah Haven is going to hit Jarvis Washington, who gets knocked out of bounds, but that moves the chains for the first down. And then a few plays later, rinse and repeat. Haven to Jarvis Washington across the middle, touchdown, 7-0 as Dunham gets on the board first. Northlake Christian, they took a nice little ride to get to Baton Rouge, so let's see if they were going to put up a fight. And judging by this play, they did not, as that's a host of Tigers who's going to stuff the running back in the backfield. Dunham's offense gets right back to it. Haven is going to hit Richard Montgomery, who gets knocked out of bounds, but it also moves the chains for a first down. A few plays later, Haven got so much time back there. He can bake a cake, do his laundry, walk the dog, paint the back porch. But he does hit Richard Montgomery again, this time for a touchdown to make it 14-0 Dunham. Northlake Christian was still trying, but nothing was coming to fruition for them in the first quarter because Dunham offense got the ball right back. Haven, Jarvis Washington, makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, running, got the end zone in front of him, doesn't get there, but that's a 26-yard pitch and catch. But they will cash in on this drive because, you know, they just have so many weapons. Haven, Montgomery, their second connection of the day for the touchdown, 21-0. And I mean, Dunham has some basketball players in their team, and that's a basketball type score they put up. 62-3, the final in this one. And Dunham will face an old foe in the next round. They will face Isidore Newman. Seems like those teams just play each other in the playoffs a lot, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, whatever. They're going to play each other in football again, and the winner will face the winner of Lafayette Christian and Catholic New Iberia. All right, let's go to Division 4 Select. 5th seed Ascension Catholic. They hosted St. Mary's down there at Floyd BT Stadium in Dawsonville. First drive for the Bulldogs. They get a little tricky as Josh Barber throws to Trevin Simon, who then throws to Cameron Schexnader for the first down. And that's going to lead to a Josh Barber direct snap and touchdown. So 7-0 Ascension Catholic as they get tricky to start the game. Second quarter, St. Mary's down 21-7. Ashton Johnson takes a shot down the field, but that's going to be intercepted by Landry. Just one of 4 interceptions for the Bulldogs in the first half. And on the very next play, former Sportsline Player of the Week, Trevin Simon takes the handoff, and he hits a big one, takes this one all the way back for a long house call. And it looks like Ascension Catholic has no troubles in this one. What's the final score, guys? It was 62-9. Another basketball-type outing in that one. And they will play, oh, all right, Catholic High, a point of P in the next round. Catholic High, a point of P, getting the win over, who is that, Westminster? Something like that? All right. Either way, it's going to be a 2-2-5 matchup next week. Looking forward to that one. Parkview, their season comes to an end as they take a loss to Lafayette Christian, 57-10. So congrats to the Eagles on a good season. You know, Devin Ducote's first year at the helm in that one. And more scores. Bel Air, they got their first playoff win last week. First playoff win since 2003. Had to go up there to North Louisiana, and they took a little beat down from Loyola Prep, 42-0. But congratulations to Bel Air on a good season. Larry Matibia and company. Downsonville, another school that had to go up north, and another beat down. Sterlington, 71 points. What's up with all these basketball scores that we got going on in the second round of the playoffs? More scores. All right, here we go. St. James, 53-13 over Manny. All right, putting up a lot of points in beautiful downtown Vacherie. And St. Charles Catholic, 56-7 all over Northside. And then they look like they're going to be on the run for another run at the Dome. And yeah, we're going to have more scores and highlights coming up. WBXH, here's where you can find us. Here's your list. And also you continue watching on YouTube and on WAFB+. I'm Kevin Baptiste. Hopefully John Eves will get here, but the show will go on. back to the second round of the playoff edition of Sportsline Friday night. Kevin Baptiste still waiting on John East to get here eventually. He's on his way back from Central and East Ascension, but we continue the show. We kind of already spoiled some of the bracket for some teams. As we mentioned, U-High and Madison Prep will play each other in the next round. But we still have to show you how it happened. And today, Madison Prep, they were taking on JFK. And the game was actually close early on in the second quarter as Madison Prep's mascot was fired up as they led 14-12 and had the ball. And Dylan Reed in at quarterback. He has trouble with the snap, but recovers and is going to find Landon Johnson wide open for the score. You know, Landon Johnson just does it all for their team. The Chargers would not get the two-point conversion, but they still have the lead 20-12. After recovering an onside kick, Prep with the ball. Reed goes deep. Johnson in the end zone and somehow makes the spectacular grab. And the ref, yeah, you better give him that touchdown. That's a great effort right there, great concentration. 28-12 at the half. Madison Prep with the ball to start the second half. And they get a little tricky. It's a fake punt. Mason Olin throws and a tip pass is caught by Terrence Scott for the first down. Later in the drive, it's fourth down again. Now it's Johnson at quarterback, but he is tackled behind the line for a loss. So JFK still fighting, trying to get back into it, but they did nothing with the ball. Prep back on offense. Reed drops back. Keon Robinson, he strolls to the end zone, untouched for the touchdown. Madison Prep with the handshake. Gonna need some hand sanitizer after that one. Madison Prep wins by a lot, 42-26. And in case you missed it, their next game, they will play U-High. Those two teams played each other earlier in the season. U-High won a close one. I think the score was like 14-8, a real defensive battle. Should be a good one in the quarterfinals next week at U-High Stadium. All right, let's continue. East Feliciana, 7th seed. They were hosting Faraday in good old Jackson, Louisiana. Eastvale's defense flexing their muscles earlier with a 6-0 lead behind their belt. Zylan Alexander goes nowhere for Faraday. This time, Dorian Taylor is going to roll to his right, makes a throw, but that is right into the hands of Ryan Moore. And he is not just thinking of setting the offense up for good field position. He is thinking end zone, and that is exactly what he does. A pick six. That made it 12-0 Tigers. Faraday's offense back at it. Alexander breaks to the outside for a nice gain. And then Alexander gets a sweep to the left side this time. He takes that in for the touchdown. The two-point conversion is good. So 12-8, that's the score at halftime. This is the playoffs. This is the type of competition you want to see. Third quarter, Trojans deep on their own side of the field. And that ball is going to be stripped. And the Tigers are all over it. So their offense already setting up shop. It looked like the red zone, but they did nothing with it. So the Trojans get the ball back. Nice drive going. Jace Harris finds Marquez Washington for a nice gain. And then Harris throws underneath to Robert Taylor. Makes a guy miss, stays on his feet. Another first down to move the chain. But they're gonna mishandle the snap right here. Can't get it, and the Tigers are gonna jump on it. And that would prove to be costly because Eastvale does nothing but run out the clock. And the Eastvale Tigers, how about that? 12-8, the final. As they move on to the quarterfinals, who will they play? Eastvale, they will play Mangum. So we got Eastvale going to Mangum, and North Iberville will be on the road. They were going to South Plaquemine. South Plaquemine won state last year. So if North Iberville and Eastvale pull off the unthinkable, we could have a pretty heated semifinal. Hope they can pull it off. Let's go to our next game. Riverside. It was Hall of Fame induction night for former Riverside players as they hosted Delta Charter. It was all Riverside early on, as Tyler Simpson is going to take the handoff when he is dragged down by Ahmad Page for the stop. And then Bailey drops back for the pass, looking deep, but that is intercepted by Janelle Rachel, or Rachel. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, kid. Sorry. And then the Rebels with the ball back. Jaden Obikwe takes the handoff. He is brought down, but not before a first down pickup. Later, Brock Bourgeois takes the snap, finds his man. Kenrick Johnson cuts to the middle, breaks a tackle, trying to get to the end zone, brought down. Oh, still not brought down, still going. Dragging guys. Nice little pickup right there. Yeah, please, flex. You deserve to flex after that one. And then here comes Obikwe taking the handoff and finishing the drive for the touchdown for the Rebels. So 7-0 as Riverside strikes first. Brock is going to drop back, goes deep, and finds Kenrick Johnson. Touchdown for the Rebels. Oh no, this is Kenrick Johnson right here. There we go, Brock to Kenrick Johnson. Another touchdown for the Rebels. That made it 14-0. Nice pitch and catch. Now check this out. Fake punt for Delta Charter, and it obviously goes nowhere. We got a lot of teams getting tricky in these special teams, and it's not working for a lot of them. And usually there's a price to pay as Riverside's offense reaps the benefits, as this is another touchdown for Riverside. 63-6 the final. Regardless, it looks like Riverside had no troubles in this one. Who will they play in the next round? Ouachita Christian, who got a win over Southern Lab. So yeah, don't have that many teams, don't have any teams left in Division IV Select on this side of the bracket. And speaking of Ouachita Christian and Southern Lab, here are the highlights from those games. Really wasn't much for the Kings in this one. You know, usually these two teams have a great history of postseason battles, but tonight was not one of them, as the Eagles got going. You see an interception right there. That's Patrick Turpin who takes it away. And then after that, they take a deep shot down the field to Luke Edwards. Gets in front of his defender, and he is gone. That puts the Eagles on the board 7-0. Their offense gets the ball back. Very next drive. Jude Turner takes it in to make it 14-0 Eagles. The Kings would end up punting, and Ouachita is going to do more damage with the football, as nobody can tackle Turpin. And it looks like he's going to go almost to the end zone. But you get the picture. Ouachita won by a lot, 38-0. And as we mentioned, they will face Riverside in the next round. So, yeah, no more teams on that side of the bracket. All right, what we got next? All right, look who has appeared on set. What's up, John? Welcome.
Hey, Kevin. Sorry I'm late. Apologize. Hope your voice is all right. I'm coming in out of the bullpen, though. We're going to take it home here. Home stretch.
Y'all know how this goes by now. Central, East Ascension, coming up next.
Baton Rouge battle here, 5-seed Central hosting 12-seed East Ascension, two teams that have had excellent seasons, but unfortunately, one of them has to come to an end. J.J. LaBeouf dumps it off to Jason Blackburn Jr. The Spartans strike first. They take a 7-0 lead. Third down for Central on the next drive. Max Gassett at quarterback rifles a fastball. It is caught by Keithan Womack. He turns the corner and scores. Central goes for 2. Gassett ran in the fake field goal, fake PAT actually, for the 2 points. So 8-7 Central. Special teams, special players. Jeremiah Merriweather on the return, weaving, bobbing, cutting, running through some arm tackles. Kevin, it's your golden rule. It's either a very good play, a very bad play, very good play for EA there.
Very good play.
Jeremiah Merriweather, the kick return touchdown. EA back in front, but here's Central on 4th down and short. Gassett flares it out. Womack makes the catch, runs upfield, picks up the first down. Same drive. Let's go to the second quarter. Gassett with the keep, moving left, cuts outside, weaves inside the pylon for the touchdown, and Central is back in front. What do we got next? Gassett fakes the handoff, runs up the middle. This is in the third quarter, speeds away from the defense and scores. The Wildcats led 18-17 at the half. That score extends their lead in the third quarter. But EA is not going away. Down by 2 scores at this point. Bryson Martinez, former Sportsline Player of the Week. He's an offensive line commit to LSU. He's not supposed to be throwing passes like that. Drops it in the bucket to Jaden Urson, who outruns the defense. So 32-24. Central back on offense. Zach Morris and company needing an answer. Gassett is the answer. He was the answer all night, running away from that EA defense and scoring again. So pads the Wildcats lead. It's now 39-24. Deep into the fourth quarter now. Jump ball. Guess who? Martinez. He blocks. He throws. He catches. He runs. What can't this guy do? He ran in a 2-point conversion. 39-32, late fourth quarter, third down. Gassett up top. It is caught by Brody Deal. A clutch conversion for the Wildcats. They move it inside the 5. Hand off to Marvin Joseph. Cuts around the outside. Saunters into the end zone. And that was the dagger. 46-32. The final score. Joseph running in the touchdown. Central on to the quarterfinal round for the 3rd straight year. Certainly want to give congratulations to Brock Matherd and company, getting EA back into the playoffs, getting a share of the district title. Their season comes to an end there. And look at that. Another BR battle next week. Central and Zachary. I think that game came down to a 2-point conversion in the regular season. Very tightly contested. And I expect it to be the same way next week.
So that's going to be a district battle. We had a district battle tonight in Division II non-select as Brusly took on Westfield. These two teams played early in the year. The Panthers won their game 20-13, and Brusly led 24-7 at the half. The Saints would get a field goal to make it 24-10. It's 24-17 after Brooks Hebert throws it up to Antonio Sullivan for the touchdown. So the Saints are trying to march their way back into the game. We go to the fourth quarter. They get the ball back. They're going to be marching their way down the field. Brusly trying to get things together. On the third down, Hebert was going to drop back the pass, throws up a prayer to Dustin Davis. Oh, that's a great pitch and catch right there. Nice adjustment on the football, and that's a tie ball game just like that. Westfield scores 21 unanswered points, and we're tied at 24 all. So let's see what the Panthers offense can do with about 3 minutes to go. Drake Vincent, their quarterback, after their offense takes their long march to the field. Drake Vincent drops back. First play of the next drive. Fakes the handoff. Launches one into the hands of Tremont Lamar to set Brusly up in the red zone. Very next play, instead of running the clock out, the Panthers opt to pass, and Vincent is going to throw into the hands of Kobe Sullivan. But Kobe Sullivan plays for the other team. That's an interception. Brusly is going to be penalized for the late hit.
Yep.
So the Saints would get the chance to win the game on the last drive with about a minute to go. This is the playoff drama. Playoff drama you love to see. After about a few plays, Hebert is going to find Antonio Sullivan. Gets some more yards. Knocked out of bounds with just 1 second left.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So the Saints are going to turn to their kicker, Trey Rogers, to be the hero. 34 yards.
It's my guy, Trey.
So much pressure being built up for the win. To go to the quarterfinals, it's going to be wide right, and that means they go into overtime tied at 24 all. Westfield won the toss, opted to play defense first. Smart decision. And we're going to see, is it a smart decision? Vincent drops back,
Slant over the middle, and it's intercepted by Janoris Anthony. So it does turn out to be a smart decision. Westfield knows all they need is a field goal, and they're going to be going to the quarterfinals. So let's see what Terry Minor and company can draw up.
Do they have to kick it? They do. Here's Trey again.
They're going to go for it again. Rogers, big man. Yes, down the middle. Westfield down 24-7 at the half.
Wow.
Yes. Take
Good
that
for
strut,
Trey,
big man.
man.
Take that strut down the field. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Keep going. Keep going. Go to Highway 1.
Run all the way back to St. Francisville.
Great stuff is Westfield. Pulls it out in OT 27-24. That's playoff football right there, John.
Good stuff by Andre Champagne.
Great stuff.
Capturing all that. Good for Trey. Instant redemption there in overtime. And Terry Minor as well in his first year as the head coach over there.
And look,
Unreal.
And look at that. Now they're going to face Bell Chase in the next round. Does Westfield get the host because of an upset?
No, because they're the 3 seeds, so they'll have to.
I remember that used to be a
Bell
rule.
Chases,
Used to be a rule at one point. So yeah, Westfield against Bell Chase, and the winner will face Lutcher or Iway. Man, all right, damn, John, you came back to the show and
How about that?
got a little more excited.
Yeah, Kev Chaos rolls off the tongue. We don't quite have a thing for me, but it's okay.
All
That
right,
was awesome.
all right. We'll wrap up the show after this.
Out in New Roads, Catholic of Point Capee hosting Westminster Christian Academy from Lafayette. The Hornets hosted a playoff game last year, came up short, hoping to utilize the bye in the home game this year. Jude Morrison running in the touchdown. That's a good start, makes it 6-0. The Hornets going for 2. Morrison throws over the middle. Nice catch by Edwin Williams. So 8-0, Catholic of Point Capee. Zaid Prejean, handoff to Gavin Hebert. He runs in the touchdown. So 8-6 at that point. Hornets offense back to work. Morrison launching deep. It is caught on his head. Nice catch again by Williams. Guys always making plays out there. They go for 2 again. Morrison around the left side, beats a defender and accelerates through for the 2 points. So 16-8. Prejean dropping back, has an outlet. Dane Fontenot for the score. 16-12. Moving to the third quarter, Morrison dumps it down to Mike and Nipple, their very talented running back, and look at him go. Turn on the afterburners, hops out of that last tackle and scores. Boosts the Hornets lead at 22-12. Here's the 2-point conversion. Nice play call here by Jacob Caruth, and Morrison takes care of the rest. 24-12. Hornet defense gets a stop. Offense back to work. Nipple, left side. See ya. His second score of the evening. 30-12 at that point, and we got a lot more offense to show you. Here's another play. Morrison, quarterback keeper. They don't run it for 1 yard. They run it for 7 and a touchdown. And then a 2-point conversion to Michael Hart. Wins the one-on-one inside the pylon, 38-12 at that point. Prejean, play action. Long ball. Ooh, he's wide open. That's Fontenot getting behind the defense, weaving past the defender, cutting past another, and striding over the goal line. 38-18 at that point. Catholic a point apiece, still in front. And this sequence here would just about do it to Michael Hart. Around the outside, turns the corner, extends, and he is in for the touchdown. 46-18, the final score. The Hornets moving on to the quarterfinals.
All right, we got
Ascension Catholic. That'll be their next game. Another Baton Good game. I can't wait for that.
2-2-5 showdown. All right, so you've been out to Jewel Sumner a few times, right, John? 42-20. This team looking really good.
Yeah, I saw
Still
them play
undefeated?
against Franklinton. They're a machine, man. Deep run last year. Looks like they're poised for another this year. They'll play Cavalry next, another team that's typically alive at this point of the playoffs.
Okay,
so, Amy, look out for Amy, too.
All right, so we want to mention this score real quick. One game that we could not get to, Plaquemine. They defeated Wasserman 54-14. They will play Cecilia, who defeated Lakeshore 54-42. So, rematch from last year, those semifinals.
Oh, I like that.
Rematch from last year, man. Hey, Sportsline Friday Night continues on next week. For John Nees, I'm Kevin Baptiste. The playoffs still go on, and we will keep going on for as long as we can. Enjoy the rest of y'all night.